Hey guys, I've gotten to the point now where I've finished the production side of the of the database, and I want to go through one application that I've recently added. It's a really important one because it's actually this one. It's a good method for looking at the production data, just because the way that we compile the gauge tickets and the gauge reports and the run tickets are pretty complicated. So it's important that these two different tables are always reconciled together. So if you open the home page and you go to applications and then you choose the production viewer, it'll bring you to this application here. So basically the point of this application is to make sure that our gauge reports table is aligned with our run tickets. And that's really kind of the point, is to make sure that everything that we're actually selling is actually getting reported as well. Again, though, the method that we calculate this is pretty complicated, so we really need an application to measure them against each other. So this looks kind of complicated, but it's pretty simple. Basically, you can choose here any tank ID that you want to look at, and you can choose the gauge month. It's helpful to look at this by month for me, but you can choose range here, and it will actually give you a range that you can select from. But for the time being, let's just look at months. So let's look at 13073 and 3/1/2014. And then it will automatically populate the production report and the run ticket, the corresponding run tickets. So here you'll notice under status 1, you'll see these things called good runs. And basically what this means is that for this drop in production barrels, here, like on the 5th, we went from 418 gauge barrels to 277. So you had a negative production barrels. The program was able to find the run barrels associated with this drop, and it was able to assign it here, which you can see is the first one up here. And then it was able to calculate a net barrels for positive gain. So that's kind of the point to basically look and see how each one of the wells are performing for any given month, and to make sure that these numbers, to make sure that they do line up. So a check you can do is by clicking on this totals button. It will give you the total for each column, and you can see here that the two key numbers here for checking to make sure that these are correct is this number here to sum up the run barrels assigned and the run barrels entered into the system. So for this month, it's very good because we're at 1218 that got assigned, and we know that there's 1218 that were actually entered. So the fact that these match means that there were no errors in the system, and that this was a good gauge month report. So from this point, you can do a couple things. So you can either hit reset, and it'll just take everything back to normal. You can click on, well, let's go to, before I get to pendings, let's kind of go through all these different controls. So if you want to see something, like if you just want to see everything in the system, then you can click on this all dates checkbox here, and it will automatically populate. It'll give you all your tanks, and it'll give you the full range of what's in the system currently. And you click on the wand, and then you'll see that this is everything that we have in the system. And if you click on totals, then you can see that we have some problems in the system right now, and that these run barrels entered are not matching our run barrels declared. And there's several reasons as to why that's happening. In some cases, they're not matching up because either the dates are slightly off, because there was no entries for a certain day, or because also sometimes there were two runs that it seemed like they got split across 2 different days. So the challenge that we have now is to kind of go through and figure out how to get those aligned. I think I have some pretty good ideas about how to do it. It's just a matter of going through each one and actually making sure that they all reconcile. So, but by doing this, then you can see it populates everything that we have in the system by tank ID. If you wanted to look at individual tank IDs, and just go to reset, and then you can choose, like if I want to look at 101s and I want to say all dates, it will automatically populate all the dates in the system for this tank ID. And you just click on the wand again, and you can see here even the totals are not matching up on 101. So Um, Obviously, it would be a lot of work to go through here one by one and figure out where all the errors are. But fortunately, the system does that for you. So if you go back to reset and you click on pendings, then this will pull up a box with all the errors and like where all the discrepancies are. So if you go to status, you can see there's two problems we have. Some of them are called, we have a missing run error, and then you have just a general run error where these totals are not matching up. So every time you enter something into the system and it's not matching up, you'll get it. The system will automatically compile the errors into this little form here. Also, for any kind of new entries that we do, like any new gauge reports, they'll be compiled here under a pending status as well until we actually run the production macro for assigning the run tickets into the gauge reports. Okay, so the way this works, or the way to use this, would be we need to go through here and investigate each one and try to figure out how we're going to fix each one. But let's go ahead and look at the first one, and I'll show you how to look at it. So basically all you need to do is you just need to highlight it and then click copy, and it'll automatically put the tank ID and the gauge month here. Another thing is that all these errors are compiled by gauge month. Because basically when you correct an error, you're going to have to correct the whole gauge month for it, because that's how the program works. So if you click on the wand, then you can go to totals and you'll see this. This is actually weird because you should not be reconciled. Oh, I take it back. There is an error here. Okay, so even though these run barrels match up, you can see the program has detected a null run. And basically, a null run means is that there was a negative production barrels, but there was no run barrel to counter it. So it will give it a status called null run. This may not be, there may not have been a pickup for this. Maybe it was, I know David, you mentioned something about there being like something about the bottom of the tanks that causes this negative number. So if you want, I can put something into the program that will ignore these. But until then, I'll leave it as null run until we know how we want to handle this. So if you go back to pending, then you can go, like, let's actually look at a run error. So by just selecting this status, it just filters it for run errors. That's really all it's doing. So if we go and we look at a run error for, let's say, 101 on the month August 2014, then you just hit copy and it puts it there, and hit the wand, and you can see that there's a pretty big problem with this one. The run barrels are definitely off here by a lot, and it looks to me like possibly there was, let's see where they are. So there's a lot more basically. Yeah, so it's pretty strange here because you can see that they picked up, it looks like we had a drop here of 106 barrels, but then we reported that there was 400 for these three. So the program will always compile the dates together and sum them. So this 400 is actually a compilation of these here, of all three of these, because they're all in A3. So this one looks pretty messy. I'm not really sure. We should probably go back and audit this month and see maybe what happened, because this is a very large discrepancy, it looks like. Or it's possible that maybe these were duplicate entries. I'm not sure. But this is kind of what I'm referencing, in that we just have to go in and see what's wrong with some of these. Okay, so at this point, if we were going to correct something, let me see if I can go into where we have something we can correct, possibly. So if you were to, let's see, maybe this one, copy this, 254. Okay, so here is actually a pretty good example, because you can see that for this tank ID for September, there were no run tickets at all entered for all these pickups, that we didn't get any that are currently, there's none in the system. So what we could do is, once these get entered, what we want to do is we want to go back to the pendings and find, see if I can find it. So for 13073, it's going to be under, it's going to run. So you would just, all you have to do, if you want to, basically this form gives you the option to just rerun the program for any of these given day, month, and tank ID combinations. You just have to double click on it, and you'll see it'll change the field run to yes, and then all you need to do is click on run, and it will automatically recompile all of these for you, even though you didn't see it because it just got reassigned. But by going through here and just double clicking on the run, it will go ahead and it will rerun the program for this combination here. So you can always just click reset and it'll reset it. But that's kind of how, if you want to make any changes and you want to run it, then that's how you can do it. So let me also show you another feature in that we can actually edit we can edit the entries out of these views. So if I was going to edit this one, and I'm going to change it back, but all you have to do is just highlight, basically just highlight the entry, and then click on the pencil. And then here, let's say that this, instead of 12 feet, let's say that this was going to be 15 feet. I'll remember to change it back to 12. I'll skip myself now. Same thing, just click on test dictionary. Okay, so now it's good because you got the arrow, and then all you do is just click on the next one. And then if you watch here, just click on the one, and you can see that this is what happens in the system every time that we make an entry or we change entries, that it will reassign the gauge barrels, gauge barrels, and clear out the prod, run, and net barrels, because these fields are populated based on the program that assigns the run tickets. So now if I go back to pendings, you can see here that I have an entry now called pending. And so this is the one that we just cleared out. So you just double click on it and you say yes, and then you click run. Okay, and now it just ran it. And so it recalculated the prod barrels based on the new entry. So you can see that the net barrels increased a lot, which we know is not right. So let's go ahead and just change this one back to, oh, sorry, I always forgot to mention, you can also double click on them. If you want to send them to pending, you can double click on them, and this will put it back into pending mode to rerun the program. Let's just go ahead here, we can just go ahead and edit it here. And so we know it changes back to 12 feet. So I'll say yes, this. And then now refresh, and then this one I'll just go ahead and rerun it again. Okay, and there you go. And you can see now that when you hit reset, the pendings actually drops out of here. Okay, so that's how you will edit entries and really try to understand where the discrepancies are coming from in the system. You can do the same thing on the run as well for making any kind of edits you want to make. That's not a good month. Let's see, let's choose 102. Let's choose here. Well, I need to find one run tickets. Okay, so I guess this is a good one. So you can see, like, you would edit the run tickets the same way. So you just click on it, click on the pencil, and then it gives you the run ticket edit form. And again, you can click the test dictionary if you want. Here, nothing will really reset here because there's no lookup on this table. So you don't have any pendings in the run tickets. So that's how you use this. The goal though for us is that we need to get, let me go to all tanks. So we need to get this total in line with each other. It needs to be perfectly in line with each other. Okay, so that's all I have for now. Again, the production entry is ready to go and ready to use whenever you guys want to start putting more entries in. Right now, I need to start focusing on how to integrate like the allocations into the new profiles, because right now, if we enter a new allocation, it's not going to get a new profile at this point. I need to figure out a way to do that. So I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna try to make another video about how to make a report, and I'll get that posted hopefully by tonight. Okay, thanks.